Hello and welcome back everyone to AW Lectures. In today's lecture, we will cover control structures of C. As you can see on your screens, there are basically two types: decision, iterative, and the other type is sequential, which is if you have follow the sequence manner from top to bottom. So we'll discuss these two. So what are decision statements? These are statements that help you jump from one part of the program to another depending if a particular condition is satisfied or not. And these include if else, if else if, and switch case. So we will cover these as we proceed. And the other types are the iterative. These include these statements used for repeat execution of a list of statements depending on the value of integer expression. That is basically if the statement is true and how much you set the value of the loop to repeat itself or iterate. So these include for, while, or do while. We'll cover this as we proceed. Now let's talk about if statement. It is one of the simplest form of decision control statement. What its syntax is given there. So what it says is if we check the condition. If this condition comes to be true, we proceed this statement, otherwise this false. This has been explained by this block diagram. Condition, if it's true, we proceed, we execute that statement, and after that we execute the remaining statement. But if condition is false, then we don't execute that statement and we directly jump to the next statement. Now let's talk about the if else statement. If else statement says that if this condition is true, highlighted one, so if this condition comes true, then the statement 1 will execute and statement 2 won't get executed. This whole block of statement won't get executed. But if this condition checks out to be false, then this block won't execute and this block will get executed. This is shown in this block diagram. As you can see, if condition is true, statement 1 get executes and then the procedure goes to the rest of the statements. But if it is false, then other statement get executed, and then we'll do one example in the later videos. Moving on to if else statement. So these include the mixture of if statement and else, then with another if statement. So what it simply says is, you can see here syntax. Let's follow the first block diagram. We've met a condition. If it's true, it just simply acts like a if block. You check the condition, it's true, you do this statement, then you execute the rest of the code. But if this condition comes out to be false, you proceed to the other condition, then you again check the condition. If this condition comes to be true, it acts like another if block, so you execute that statement and then you proceed to execute the rest of the code. But if that executes to be false, it simply acts like an else statement block. You execute the code which you want to execute if none of the condition gets true, and then you can execute the statement. We'll discuss this also by an example in the programming lecture. Now let's talk about the switch case statement. Switch case statement can be think of as a multi-way statement. So what it means is that we have a switch as its syntax, then we have an expression, or you can say condition. Let me explain you with this an example. Suppose we write switch and choice. So what a choice can contain, for if we suppose we have an integer choice, it can contain 1, 2, 3 and so on. So what we will do is we'll write case and then our choice. Suppose our choice is 1, so it will come here to 1. Then we'll write a statement which we want to execute, then break to break out of this switch statement. Then if this get false, so this condition doesn't get executed, then we'll check the next switch case statement, which will be case, taking on the previous example only. Suppose our choice becomes 2 next time, so case if value is 2, then we'll execute this statement, and similarly then we'll break out of the switch statement. Suppose we have a condition that none of the choices matter. So what will happen is we'll write default. Suppose we were talking only about natural numbers, so they are from 1 to n. So if we select 0, so default can work in that case. So what will result of the default statement, like we can write here print we want only natural numbers, so enter only natural numbers. Thank you.